Welcome back, Shirelings and... nope, that's the wrong word. Hobbits, thank you. Hobbits! I was about to say a word that I wasn't supposed to say, but welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We are here in the final match to conclude this particular clan war. As I said before, don't go away, because afterwards we have Lenok against Morrow, the best of 7 showdown for $500. But let's go ahead and conclude this out. So into game, we have Liquid Red against Mouz Thorzane. Each are 1-1 apiece in this ace matchup. We're over here on Belshire Beach Winter.
And we saw that map and this matchup and Red before today, so it was a very, very intense game.
Oh, man.
Not very long, though.
No.
And yeah, I think that this game will probably last a little bit longer and Red will show us what he's made of. So let's see who's going to win this clan war, Gretorp. Is Mousesports able to take this clan war, or will Team Liquid come out the victor?
Team Liquid is definitely, I think, the fan favorite, but Mouz, of course, one of the toughest competitors in all the lands. They are giving them a run for their money, but we'll see if Thorzane can actually close this out. Now, this is a map where it's really tough to say who has the advantage, because there's different advantages for both the races. I mean, Zerg, I think overall, has the really, really nice like expansion, progression, growth period. They can get their expansions very easily. And they can obviously do a lot of harass. But getting to that period, I mean, there's a lot of ways that Terran can actually do a lot of different timing pushes, especially taking control of this Xel'Naga tower, attacking thirds, things like that. You can do a lot of different things. There's also a mobility thing that you have to deal with, where Terrans can go straight from Marine, Marauder, Medivacs, and just go off of that. And abuse the fact that the third and the main is so far away. We can see that this is set up in a line type of format, and defending all of these positions is actually really hard, because you need to defend a lot of position, a lot of area, a lot of space in order to obviously get your expansions up and materialize off of them.
Yeah, you're perfectly right. The one thing that is really hard for Zerg play in the early stages as well is just scouting the Terran player. With the supply depot and the barracks just closing off that spot so you can't sneak into the main base, it's really hard to see if there is gas or no gas for the Terran. That's one of the reasons why Red doesn't even bother to send out a drone scout. Obviously, he's also a little bit greedy. He's known for this. But the funny thing is, he went for a 15 hatch, and immediately after the hatch, he put down the pool. So he definitely learned his lesson from his game against Morrow. And yeah, so let's see how that's going to work for him. 2 queens are on their way, a lot of drones, obviously. I mean, we're still watching Red play. Yeah. And
Khaldor, you're on fire today, man.
No, don't get me wrong, the guy is awesome, and being a Zerg player myself, I love that he's able to play such a drone-heavy style, and that he's able to pull that off. But still, he's known for building such a huge amount of drones and then overwhelming his opponent. So I really like to see that. Those games usually end up being like 30 to 40, 50-minute games, really nice macro-orientated games, and that's exactly the type of games that I love casting.
For sure, man. We can see the same type of build that we saw last time for Thorzane. Actually, a little bit different. He went for the second barracks instead of going for the starport. And what that basically means is he will have a much stronger ground force a little bit later on. He has the ability to push pretty easily. But kind of interesting how he's working this through. He's not actually making an add-on with this one barracks, but nevertheless, it's going to be some sort of ground control in this early game stage, and I like that on Belshire Beach.
A couple of strategies that a strategy that we've seen in the GSL quite often on Belshire Beach, which Thorzane is not going for right now, but just to mention it, is, for example, the push with Hellions and Marauders, which can be really, really strong and is so hard to defend against if you are not perfectly sure about how many roaches or lings you need in order to defend against your opponent. So that would have been something that Thorzane could have done.
Yes. But for now, I like what Red is doing. He's sending out his first queen. You can see the creep sword has actually progressed onto the bottom ground. That's going to help out so much for Red and his ability to actually defend against anything. Like you said, the Marine, or excuse me, the Marauder Hellion type of openings, but we're not seeing that at all. Instead, we see Thorazane going for the fast Marine Marauder and Medevac type of opening, and I love that, taking advantage of the space. As I said, it's a line type of expansion setup for Belshir Beach, rather than, I'll give you the opposite, which would be Antigua Shipyard, where it's like corners. You have your corners and you have your triangle, so it's a lot easier to defend. The amount of surface area is a lot easier to cover. But this time around, we'll see if Red is able to defend against this incoming pressure.
I have to say, I'm not really... I don't really agree with, oh, the Lings are just running in trying to catch the Hellions. I was just about to mention them, as I don't really agree with Thorzane's Hellion control. He didn't really use them to force back the creep, and I think that might bite him in the ass later on, because now Red has actually the ability of spreading his creep, and that will help him so much when it comes down to dealing with the attack that Thorazane is preparing right now.
Yep, and he has, it looks like, a lot of Marines set over here. 15 Marines in this group, and of course the 2 Hellions over there. So he will press on a little bit on this creep. I don't think we'll see any scans, but this is what's the dangerous thing. Now, Queens are over here. They can back out those dropships very easily. The Zerglings are streaming in. That will clean up every single one of the Marines. The Zerglings need to get the heck out of there. So they're just being fired on from the low ground, but a nice stop from Rhett. And you know what? I think what Rhett was doing, going this macro hatch, is the perfect way to deal with this type of pressure.
Exactly, he has so many lava right now. He was trying to get a 3rd base, but Thorazane snuck his Hellions over to the 3rd base and killed the drone before it could place down the hatchery. And now the Marines get surrounded, but nice pickup by Thorazane just in time to save the Marines.
Yeah, all of them were so badly injured. Now finally the Hellions will be picked up. Or picked off, rather. What I like about Rhett, look at this. He's being so due diligent with keeping his creep spread as far as possible. He needs to throw down as many creep doomers as possible before it actually recedes. He has like a minute before it actually fully recedes. These Zerglings are actually pushing forward. Oh my god, the supply depot wall was down. Is it going to be enough, though? The Marines are just getting... Oh, it looks like the Marines are shredding those Zerglings. Thought for a second that Thorazane might be in a lot of trouble, but with the power of that healing from the medevacs, he was able to stay strong. So,
to be honest, Thorazane is in a lot of trouble. Look at the harvest account. Liquid Red is true to his... Is true to... help me out, to his...
True to his name.
Thank you very much. He has 74 drones against 41 SCVs. So, reputation, that was the word that I was looking for. So, he is basically nearly doubling the amount of harvests his opponent has.
Yeah, that is so scary. Of course, Rhett known for doing stuff like this. Now, one thing I do love, Thorazane has actually gone for the 11-minute combat shield time, much better than last game.
Yeah, 20-minute beats the hell out of the 20-minute timing.
But you know what? Thorazane, I have to kind of question that, because last game, he did a lot better without the combat shield. So maybe not getting combat shields was the correct decision. Ah?
Well, you might have a point. No, I totally agree that right now Thorazane is in a bit of trouble, because Red is now just producing a lot of units. He has especially a very, very nice count when it comes down to the Mutalisk. He's getting more and more Zerglings. The upgrades are going his way. He already has +1 attack. And if Thorazane isn't dealing a lot of damage right now, he will be in so much trouble later on, because he can't keep up with the economy of Red.
Yeah, it's going to come down to this one attack. He has 1-0 right now. His opponent also has 1-0. But the Zerglings and Banelings, is it going to be enough? Nice pre-spread beforehand. The big stem comes in. He actually bunches up yet again. Banelings are actually rolling through. Can he actually connect on anything? Looks like he will be able to connect on. Nice ball over here. It's just too much. The overall macro for Red is just overwhelming. Now finally the Marines are just starting to gather up. The reinforcements coming in here. The mutants have to be so careful. It's going to be enough. The Zerglings actually get cleaned up. Red needs to disengage immediately. And Thorazane might be able to continue the momentum. We'll see if he is.
We have Red not injecting, but he's fighting right now, once again surrounding his opponent's army, trying to take down those Marines. And at the same time, I have to say that if Liquid Red would have been a little bit more attentive to what was happening, he could have killed so many of those medivacs in the first engagement, but he doesn't really need to. He's injecting with all his queens now, and he's on 115 supply against 90, and his economy is just so good. He has so many Zerglings morphing into Banelings now. He has Mutalisks still on the map, and the only thing that Thorzane has are Marines and Medivacs.
Well, the one thing I think Thorzane has is probably the main thing is the Medivacs. The Medivacs will be the one thing that can maybe get him back into this, but not with engagements like this. The Mutas are actually going to focus down on the Medivacs. Nice job. He actually loses, I think, just one. But he could have obviously gotten a lot more. But if you focus down the Medivacs, that will stop any of this these shenanigans over here. Nice split by Thorzane, but it's just way too many units. The Zerglings and Banelings come crashing against the wall of those Marines. Now finally the Mutas are able to get the free kills, which are those Medivacs. That stopped all the momentum for Thorzane, and now Red is going to just completely swing this game in his huge advantage. I don't think there's any way for Thorzane to come back into this. He's getting his third. He doesn't even have his third or fourth gas. Like things are just going worse and worse for Thorzane.
Liquid Red has more than double the amount of supply that Thorzane has right now, and he can do whatever he wants. He's taking a fourth now. He can tech to whatever he wants. He can just. It really doesn't matter. Thorzane has no chance whatsoever if Liquid Red is playing this straight, if he's not making any major mistakes. And look at that amount of Mutalisks. 18 of them now heading into the main base. There's only one missile turret, and that won't be enough. He's basically two-shotting the missile turrets, and now he has free reign into the main base of his opponent. And wow, Thorzane, what are you going to do to stop Red now?
Yeah, there's nothing. GG comes out. Thorzane is going to fall. Red takes it. So congratulations to Team Liquid. What a great finish to an epic clan war. Khaldor, I mean, what do you think about that game, man?
That was a great clan war. And that last game, I really like what Red was doing. Thorzane, I don't know, maybe he was a little bit, he was putting too much hope into that elevator player, I guess. And he made just a couple of mistakes, and one of them, I mentioned the creep tumors. If you have Hellions on the map and you want, then you really need to make sure that your opponent is not able to spread his creep. The creep spread is just so important, because that speed bonus for the Zergs is something that you don't want to deal with if you're a Terran player, and that helped him in a lot of those engagements as well. And obviously also it's a matter of the vision. And I don't know, there was just a lot of small mistakes by Thorzane, and Red was able to get the economy that he's comfortable with, and from that point on, it was a downhill battle, an uphill battle for Thorzane.
Exactly. You know, just slight things like Thorzane didn't actually need to drop because no third base was actually taken, right? If you get a third base as Zerg, then there's a lot of position to defend. It's really hard to do that, but instead, Red went the macro hatch. That means Zerglings and Banelings will be ruling that ground. Now, you have the ability to just pick up whenever you want to, but I think if Thorzane actually went for the creep spread and just dropped back, maybe expanded or taken upgrades, whatever it might be, if he played a little bit more conservative rather than giving up his ground control, because remember, he lost 8 Marines, and then he had to back up all the way until reinforcements arrived. That's when Red actually took his third, and that was a very critical point. He wasn't able to do that until he cleaned up, or he was able to deal with the double medevac drop accordingly. That definitely gave all the momentum to Red, and it just snowballed to the point where Thorzane said, crap, I'm behind, I need to get something done. He tried to every single time. Red was obviously just way too strong with his 72 drones the entire game, ever since it felt like the 5-minute mark, man. Red is so good at knowing when to produce drones and when to stop.
Yeah, that's exactly what it comes down to. Red knows definitely when he can use his lava for his harvesters, or when he needs to build some army. So yeah, it was really well played by Red, and he decided the best of 3, the ace match, in favor of Team Liquid, and therefore decided the clan war. Yep.
So congratulations to Team Liquid. They're going to start off this NASTL with a nice 2-0 lead. We want to thank the people that made this possible. It's going to be iBuyPower They are our computer supplier. We want to also thank Azo Monitors. They're a monitor supplier, Kingston HyperX, and Cooler Master. And Khaldor, thank you so much, but you know, we're not going to leave you anytime soon because we're going to go in and jump into the best of 7 show match series. So I guess we'll go to a short break and come back with that. Sound good, Khaldor?
That sounds awesome. I'm really looking forward to casting those games.
All right, guys. So stay tuned. Morrow versus Leenock coming up in a little bit. We'll catch you there.